there's been a good little litmus test this past week. Okay, if you want to see if your favorite conservative icon is one of us, is really America First, is really a Christian, just see what they said about that pedophile couple that are trafficking kids. What's her name again?
Are you talking about Dave Rubin?
Oh, Dave Rubin, that's it, yeah.
Rubin.
Dave Rubin, yeah. Coming soon, baby one. Where did they steal this kid from? That's two men. Well, two men are gay.
Yeah,
they can't have kids.
It's got to pop out first, and then that's when they snatch them.
Oh, that's when they steal it.
Yeah, that's when they steal it. But that's like plotting a crime right there. So somebody should probably do something about that.
Sheriff Opile? Should we call Sheriff Opile? Someone needs to deal with this.
We should call somebody because I have a kidnapping in process. You know.
Seriously, look, what is he crying for? Is he crying because he got away with it almost? Look at this. These two men who cannot reproduce. The only thing they can reproduce and create is more debauchery and AIDS. They can spread AIDS.
It doesn't get much more disgusting than that. Of course, those two commentators have been making the rounds lately with how horrible they can possibly be. So Dave Rubin and his husband, David Janet, did announce that they're expecting twins via surrogate or very close in age babies via surrogate. And the group that he's cultivated his audience behind as of recent years is generally not very happy with it. And I don't think it's that much of a surprise, particularly also as a retweet from reformed, quote, reformed homosexual Milo Yiannopoulos. He called for them to also be executed, as you can see at the bottom, as he retweeted this and said, it's disgusting, they should both be executed. Before we go to more about there's ads and everything that Dave Rubin was involved in and how he cultivated this whole thing. First of all, this is sad to me. And there's gonna be a lot of laughter and mocking and pointing fingers about Dave Rubin on this. And I don't know if this was a surprise, but it's what was cultivated and brought up and told to followers, hey, this is who I am and you should maybe respect me, but also hate others that live the same way I do. It's just who they are. And now it's all just circling back in most horrific and devastating fashions. And I want us to remember there's gonna be kids involved here. As much as these right wingers talk about how these kids are gonna be abused, you're currently setting this up for a problem right now. They don't actually care about the kids. They don't give a damn. This actually really annoys me. Let's go to, there's an ad that Dave Rubin also made for PragerU. And it looks it really shows how ironic this whole circle is. Watch.
Right, according to the media, is intolerant of everyone, except those darned white heterosexual Christian males. There's only one problem, it's just not true. Incredibly, the left isn't even tolerant of the very people they say they're tolerant of. I can tell you that in the last few years of my political evolution, I've consistently found conservatives to be tolerant and open-minded.
So the game is to apologize, relinquish them of any responsibility for who they are and how they speak, and eventually act on folks that they actually hate. Now Dave Rubin being another one of them. And again, I think it's really sad. He even talked to his good buddy Ben Shapiro. This is something that everyone that's circled around, circulated a bit about how he's looking for more acceptance when it comes to his wedding. Watch this.
Make a bold prediction.
Sure.
30 years from now, we're gonna be sitting here doing this, hopefully in a bigger garage.
In Texas, probably,
and you may well have moved me on the abortion issue, and I think I may have moved you on coming to an anniversary party. What do you think about that?
I think there's a possibility. I mean, I'd have to think about that. Again, the issue, as you know, not to get back into well-trod territory. I think it would be unlikely that you'd move me, but I can never rule out the possibility of being moved on anything, obviously. And again, this comes back down to, the difference between approving of activity and approving of human beings. I wouldn't, if you invited me to a party on Friday night, I also wouldn't go, right? I mean, like.
David, I actually don't like you, is what Ben Shapiro is saying there. So David, outside of all this, I mean, as this is all gone through, it looks pretty, it's just, again, it's frustrating for me that this is now happening. And then I hope there's no surprise involved. Maybe it was expected, but then again, now you gotta start looking out for your children because there's people who hate you, who want nothing more than destruction for your life.
It's sad, and I think you identified the key issue here is that there are two twins, there are two kids who are going to grow up who may be political footballs because of all of this, and they're just kids, they're just babies. And so on the one hand, you hear a story about a gay couple, they got a surrogate, they're going to have twins. You should be so happy for them, and so. But because of Rubin's own past, he has set himself up for the kind of criticism that he's getting, and because of who he's been around for the last several years and supporting, he's getting the crazies like that first couple who were making all those sort of ridiculous and disgusting claims. And so this is what happens. I mean, it's great that people, I don't know, maybe change their opinions and change their political views and become a little bit more progressive. But this is what happens when you start off being an extremist on the far right and are friends and support other extremists, because it comes back to haunt you.
I mean, if you haven't seen who the audience is that you've cultivated, I guess he just thinks it's fake to a degree. And by the way, if Dave thinks he can probably change some minds from the Shapiros and these other hateful people of the world, and you give it a try, give it a try. It's a free country. After you've given it a try, probably time to start protecting yourself and understand who they are. And this is what they think about you. It goes back every time someone decides to try to promote themselves amongst people who've openly and loudly said, we effing hate you and your existence. They say it over and over again. For your own sake and for your kid's sake, I hope he starts listening.
You should be like David Brock. David Brock was a conservative writer who said, I was wrong. I was mistaken. And he had an evolution and he disavowed his associations with people on the right. That's what Dave Rubin should do. If he really cares about his kids, he really cares about his partner, he should say, I was wrong in my previous incarnation about politics, and I don't want anything to do with those people.
Yeah, I just want to be on record. I'm not laughing at it. I think it's scary. Take care of yourself, man.